Flames consume marble villas. The once proud streets of Rome echo with screams as foreign warriors storm through the city. Temples are plundered, statues toppled, the gold of centuries stripped away. The year is 410 AD, and for the first time in 800 years, the Eternal City has fallen to an enemy. But this is not the beginning of Rome's story. It is the end of a saga that began with a myth, two brothers raised by a wolf, and ended in fire and ruin. How did a single city on 7 hills rise to dominate the known world, commanding millions across 3 continents? And how did that same empire crumble into dust? This is the rise and the fall of Rome. Rome's earliest tales are drenched in legend. In 753 BC, Romulus, after slaying his twin Remus, became the city's first king. For centuries, kings ruled Rome. But by 509 BC, their tyranny bred resentment. The monarchy was overthrown, and the Roman Republic was born. The Republic's genius lay in its balance. 2 consuls led the state, checked by a senate of aristocrats. Laws were codified, and citizens, at least some, were given a voice. It wasn't equality, but it was stability. And stability gave way to ambition. Rome fought its neighbors, Etruscans, Samnites, and Latin tribes, until the entire Italian peninsula was under its control. But dominance of Italy was not enough. Rome's destiny lay across the sea. There, in North Africa, stood a city that would become Rome's greatest rival, Carthage. Carthage was wealthy, powerful, and feared. The 2 superpowers clashed in the Punic Wars, a century-long struggle for control of the Mediterranean. The most dangerous enemy Rome ever faced was Hannibal Barca. In 218 BC, he led an army and war elephants across the Alps, an audacious feat that stunned the world. At the Battle of Cannae, he annihilated a Roman army, killing tens of thousands in a single day. Rome seemed doomed. But the Republic refused to surrender. Year after year, it bled but endured. Finally, in 202 BC, Roman general Scipio Africanus carried the war to North Africa. At Zama, Hannibal was defeated. Rome now ruled the seas. With Carthage destroyed, the Republic expanded relentlessly. Greece, Spain, Asia Minor. The Mediterranean became Mare Nostrum, our sea. But success had a cost. Wealth poured in, but it bred corruption. Senators grew rich while common citizens suffered. Generals commanded more loyalty than the Senate. Rome's greatest enemy was no longer Carthage, it was itself. Ambition would tear the Republic apart. The first cracks appeared with the Gracchi brothers, reformers who tried to aid Rome's poor. Both were murdered by the Senate. Blood had entered politics. Civil wars soon followed. Ambitious generals like Marius and Sulla turned their armies on Rome itself. The precedent was set. Whoever commanded the legions could command the state. Then came Julius Caesar. Brilliant, charismatic, ruthless. His conquest of Gaul made him a hero to the people and a threat to the Senate. Ordered to disband his army, Caesar chose defiance. In 49 BC, he crossed the Rubicon River, declaring, "The die is cast." Civil war erupted. Caesar triumphed, but in 44 BC, fear of his power drove senators to murder him on the Ides of March. They believed they had saved the Republic. Instead, they unleashed more chaos. Caesar's heir, Octavian, clashed with Mark Antony and Cleopatra. At Actium in 31 BC, Octavian's army crushed them. Soon after, he took the title Augustus. The Republic was dead. Rome was now an empire. And with an emperor came glory, but also madness. Under Augustus, Rome entered its golden age. Roads linked distant provinces, aqueducts carried water, arenas like the Colosseum dazzled the crowds. The Pax Romana, or Roman peace, lasted for 2 centuries. The empire stretched from the misty shores of Britain to the deserts of Egypt, from the Atlantic Ocean to the Euphrates. 50 million people lived under Roman rule. For many, it seemed eternal. Yet emperors were mortal, and not all were wise. Caligula declared himself a god and ordered his troops to collect seashells as spoils of war. Nero was said to have played music while Rome burned and executed his own mother. And yet, the empire endured. Under Trajan, Rome reached its largest extent. Under Hadrian, walls and fortresses reinforced its vast frontiers. Under Marcus Aurelius, Rome produced a philosopher-emperor, even as plagues ravaged the land. But expansion brought strain. Enemies pressed the borders. Civil wars brewed. And in the shadows, a new religion, Christianity, was spreading, challenging Rome's ancient gods. Could an empire so vast and divided hold together forever? The 3rd century plunged Rome into chaos. In just 50 years, more than 20 emperors rose and fell, many killed by their own soldiers. Civil wars tore provinces apart. Plagues killed millions. Inflation wrecked the economy. Desperate, Emperor Diocletian split the empire into East and West. It brought order, but also division. Then came Constantine the Great. He reunited the empire, legalized Christianity, and built a new capital, Constantinople. Power shifted eastward. Rome, the Eternal City, was no longer the empire's beating heart. The East would grow strong, but the West was on the road to ruin. By the 4th and 5th centuries, Rome faced relentless pressure from tribes at its borders: Goths, Vandals, Franks, and the terrifying Huns. In 378 AD, disaster struck at Adrianople. Gothic cavalry slaughtered the Roman army, killing the emperor himself. The myth of invincibility was shattered. Then came Attila the Hun, the scourge of God. His armies burned cities, extorted gold, and nearly crushed the empire. Only his sudden death spared Rome from destruction. But the final humiliation came in 410 AD, when Alaric and his Visigoths sacked Rome. The Eternal City, once mistress of the world, was plundered for 3 days. Citizens wept, believing the world itself was ending. Rome staggered on, but hollowed and weak. In 476 AD, the last emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by a Germanic chieftain. The Western Roman Empire was dead. But the East, the Byzantine Empire, would endure another 1,000 years. The rise and fall of Rome is a warning written across history. Born from legend, hardened in conquest, Rome built an empire that reshaped the world. Roads, laws, architecture, language. Its echoes are still with us today. But Rome's downfall was not from enemies alone. It was corruption, inequality, and division. The same ambition that built the empire also destroyed it. Rome promised eternity, but in the end, even the Eternal City fell. Because history never dies. It just echoes.